Hello everybody. Today I will show you a very simple bread. I call it my first bread. It's done for the people who never did a bread. There is nothing special. I will use only very simple ingredients, and yeah, that's the idea, is to maybe you can practice this and then later going ahead. I was preparing a flour mix. Yeah, here in the flour all is in. Yeah, there is the yeast inside, there's the salt inside, there is a little bit sugar inside. I use in the flour, in my flour mix, I was using dry yeast. You have to know dry yeast is triple stronger than fresh yeast. This means if I write, for example, in the recipe 5 gram fresh yeast, then and you have only dry yeast available, you have to divide it with 3. That's the idea. I will show how to mix in a very simple way the bread, and later I will show you also how to shape this bread. Okay, let's go. Okay, now I will put the flour mix in the bowl. We will put the water, and the recipe has also a little bit oil, but the oil I put always finally inside. You have to take care when you mix the dough that all has to be wet. It's not necessary to make a slap and fall, to knead it a lot or anything like this. Only we mix until it's wet. That's all what we are doing. Yeah, I show you now. Okay, now you can see the dough is wet all over. I will add now the olive oil, and mix it again a little bit, and then I let it rest 30 minutes, and we will cover it with a plastic over this time. Hello back. I show you now the dough. you can see, and the surface is more, it's more even, yeah, you can also, when you touch, you feel it has what air inside. Now I will show you how you make a very simple stretch and fold. The gluten there is developing by themselves. You have not to do nothing. It's not like always mixing. Okay, that's it. Let's see. I'm back now with our dog. You can see it's rising good. It looks good. The surface is clean. It's very nice. The thing is, in the recipe I wrote 250 gram. It's because also to show how to shape it. Yeah. Of course, you can do also the whole batch and make one big bread. Yeah, you can make the weight what you want. This for the first time, I think the baking time depends always also on the weight. Yeah, and here I will, let's go step by step, and then maybe later we do another recipe. But with 250 gram we have more bread round, and we can go ahead and first it's also a good size for learning to shape it. Yeah, okay, then I will show you now. Okay, now we have the dough here. It's we cut pieces. It looks a little bit strange. Now we go ahead like this. We take one edge to the middle, the other one here. We take it like this, into the middle, like here, going around. Yes? And then I can do it like this over the table with a little bit flour on the table. Yeah. And you can see it's round. Yeah. Or you do it like this in the hand. Watch good my hands. And then you have a nice round bread. That's all. Then put it on the tray and wait until it doubles. I want to talk a little bit about your first bread. You can do something different also. We decide here using white flour, 1 kilo. You can add also whole wheat flour, rye flour, and if you use like 10% or 20% of whole wheat flour and 10% of whole rye flour, means you have only 800 gram of white flour, 100 gram of whole wheat flour, 100 gram of rye flour. This gives a little bit is a little bit more tasty. It's a little bit different, and you have not to change anything in the recipe. That's the idea. If you change more flour, if you put more whole wheat inside and more rye inside, it need to be adjust also the recipe. The same is with the sugar and the fat. More sugar and more fat inside, the bread will get softer. Also the face gets softer, and the taste will change a little bit more sweet, because I consider 0 and 3% is you don't feel nothing of sweetness. Yeah, but from 3% until 5-6% is like a medium sweetness, and then if you go higher, it gets more sweet. And here is also the point. Then you have to adjust the recipe. Yeah, maybe the whole manual will be different. This is a about this bread. Baking is important. Would be important to have steam. It looks nicer. It's the developing in the oven. It's better. But most of the people at home have no oven with steam. You can put some in a bowl, some screws, heat them up, and put water, and then it will give steam. Or with a water pistol, you go into over the bread and you help a little bit like this. That's other possibilities what you can do.